Howdy, I'm Lij Shaw with Recording Studio Rockstars, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how you can write a song in any language even if you don't speak that language. Now, I've been writing, co-writing, recording, mixing, producing, engineering, and arranging thousands of songs over the past 40 years. I have worked with hundreds of the top level artists, and I have a podcast where I've done over 500 interviews with top producers, engineers, mixers, musicians, songwriters, and everybody in the industry that has over 3 million downloads of the audio and over 1 million views on YouTube so far. And despite that, at my core, I am a songwriter like you who wants to get better at writing a song, wants to record myself in my studio. I just want to have fun making music like I know you do, and I just want to put out more records. So I'm going to talk to you in this video about how I was able to do that, how I was able to go down to Costa Rica for a month to learn how to surf and write songs on the beach, and then decide I wanted to write a song in Spanish despite the fact that I don't speak Spanish. But I was able to successfully do that. It turned out great. It's called Samara Mucho Me Gusta. It's on my record, which is on Spotify and Apple Music now. And I played it for many people who are locals down there and Spanish speakers, and I got nothing but smiles. And it made me feel great to do it too. And it was a way for me to pay an homage to this beautiful place I was at on the beach. I'm going to talk to you about how I was able to do that and how you can do that using the power of AI as a helpful co-writing tool, to have it as a co-pilot to help you get through the process of writing the song. Now, I know that AI can be really divisive, so I want to know, what side are you on? Where do you stand? Drop a note in the comments below and let me know. Do you think that AI is something that's going to kill music and it takes away all your creativity? Or do you think it's something that can help you make better music and help you write more songs and just help you break through your creative writer's block and break through barriers? That's what I was able to use it for myself, and I'm going to now take you step by step how I was able to do that on my trip down to Costa Rica. So the first step that I want to talk about is deciding what language you're going to write in. Okay, now that one you can just do on your own. It's probably the place you're visiting or the place you're thinking about or the person you're wanting to write a song for or whatever your mission is here. But what you can do is, if you're using an iPhone, you can go into, you're going to want to get the keyboard in that language, because this is a good helpful thing to have as you start this whole process. Now you just go into the settings area, scroll through until you find keyboards, then say add new keyboard, scroll until you find the keyboard in the language that you want and add that. And then you use the globe icon below the keyboard on the lower left on an iPhone. Excuse me, and that will let you change between the different keyboards, whether you're typing in English for a bit or typing in Spanish. So once you have that added, step 2, let's find out what the kind of theme is you're going to do with your music, what kind of chords you want to write in. Maybe you need to decide, hey, what are some common songs? What are some popular songs in that particular language? You know, what are the typical chord structures? What are the typical melodic scales? You know, we have just sort of like the major scale and the minor scale for a lot of the music that we would be familiar here with in the US, but it might be a little different in another part of the world. So you can decide using that. Now, I think I wrote my song in a minor key and did it in A minor because it just felt sort of, just sort of felt like maracas, and, it felt like the beach. It felt like a Latin American sort of chord structure to me. But you can do that, and you can just go to AI and you can ask it for some of those things. So it'll give you some starting tips, right? Once you have that, once you have an idea of what your structure of the song is, whether you want to do a verse, chorus, bridge, etc. Again, if you don't know what the structure of a song should be, just ask AI to give you some basic fundamental pop song structures or whatever the style is you want to do. And it will really help you come up with a starting idea there. Then I want to take you to, I forget what step we're on. Step 3, I think, is we're going to do what I call the gig book. You need to have a place to put ideas and write them down as you go so that you can come up with good ideas and you can start to come up with some original thoughts of your own. And what I would do is I would go and talk to people while I was there. I'd say, hey, how do you say this word in Spanish? How do you write, how do you say this sentence? What's the word for this? I found out when I was surfing that the word for a wave is ola. It's the same thing as wave here in the US. And if you wanted to catch the really good waves that are 45 degrees where you can actually get up and surf before they break, those are called the green waves. So you wanted to go catch the olas verdes, las olas verdes. And that I thought was really cool. So it gave me an opportunity to write a first line about maybe, the waves smiling in the morning every day at sunrise, the waves always come, that kind of stuff. Life is surf, surf is such as surf, these great expressions down in Costa Rica. And I just started jotting them down in my notebook. Now, tip number 4 is once you have a line that you like, or let's say once you just have a couple of words and you're not even sure how to say that first line, just take that, put it into ChatGPT, say, how do I say that line in Spanish? And then if you don't like the way it phrases it, give it some alternate prompts until it comes out with something that just hits you right? And then you've got a starting line. And once you have a starting line and you've got an ending word that has this, that's in Spanish, whether it's the same word you chose or a new one, now you have an opportunity to go to step number 5, I think? And you go and you say, hey, please give me 20 rhymes with that word, and then also give me the English translation or whatever your native language is. I assume it's English if you're watching this video. And then you look through that and you scan through those until you find a word that catches your eye and that you really dig. You decide, hey, this is a really cool one. I think I can see how I might want to use that in a new poetic line and say something poetic. Now you want to have a theme, in my case it was the beach, it was surfing, it was all about eating fresh fruits and vegetables down there because I'm really interested in being a raw vegan, and it was about surfing on the beach, or it was about writing songs. And so that gave me the kind of imagery and the kind of metaphor that I wanted to shoot for. And so then you just take each rhyming word, come up with a new line, work on those two for a minute until you got it. And then if you've got a rhyme scheme that went like A, A, B, B, that means on the third line, you can kind of say what you want again, and you can start all over, and you can keep going through your song until you've assembled the entire song, filled out the structure of verses, choruses, bridges, etc. And then you've got a whole song in a new language. It's really literally that simple, but you're not quite done yet. This is the point at which I suggest that you now take your collection of lyrics, and if you can find somebody who speaks that language natively, show it to them. Ask them if these lines make sense. Let them know that it's a song lyric or it's kind of poetic, and could it work as a sort of poetic license? And you get a little bit of feedback. Maybe they'll point out that one bit here doesn't work, or that doesn't make sense, it means something else. Then you can just keep working on it, right? Now, if you don't have somebody who speaks the language, just take your lyric sheet and go present it back to AI and say, hey, can you translate this back into English for me? And you might be surprised. It might not come back with exactly the same translation that you started with, but this can be a process for you of assembling, like fine tuning it and figuring out where it holds together and where it maybe needs a little bit of repair. Once you've done that, then it's time to record it. If you can play your guitar, if you're playing guitar and sing at the same time, great. Just sing that right into a voice memo. If you're like me and you want to use an app like Spire Studio from Isotope that lets me lay down the full guitar track and then go in phrase by phrase and add my vocals, use that, and that's a great way to get it all finished out and mixed, and you can add more harmonies and really make something that sounds great. At that point, you've got a finished song, you've recorded it in another language. Take that demo and go play it again for somebody who speaks that language and see what kind of smiles you get for your song. I hope that really helped. Again, you can write a better song by using AI. You can write a song in any language, even if you don't speak it, by using AI. And I'd love to hear what you think about this in the comments, whether it's helpful to you, whether you hate the idea. Doesn't matter to me. I went and did it anyway. And I hope you'll decide to go write more music by taking advantage of all these tools. Now, if you're at the stage where you're already writing a song and you're just struggling with what to do with your mixing, and you're not sure how to get your mix sounding like, going from sounding like it's a crappy demo to sounding much more like a professional mix, then please, I have a gift for you. Take advantage of it. It's in the show note links below. It's called the Mix Master Bundle, and it will show you how to do exactly that in your home studio using nothing but free plugins, and it's my gift to you. And if you would like to work with me directly, because I have helped thousands and thousands of people like yourself write better songs, record better songs, mix, produce, arrange, all of it, and release finished records and make your best record ever, then please reach out below, or you can email me right at Lij, L-I-J, at recordingstudiorockstars.com. I really appreciate you watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. If it was helpful to you and you want more people to see it too, hit that like button, because that probably is going to help the algorithms shoot the video up and get it in front of more people. And I'll be making videos like this all the time, so if you want more of these, you can hit the subscribe button too. Thanks for watching. I'm Lij. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Till then, make great music. Ciao.